Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, good night, good morning to everyone, wherever you are in this world. I'm sure we have different time zones. And so tonight, my name is Donna, and welcome to Dare to Tell. And I'm here with my wonderful guest. Her name is Debbie, and she's here to talk about her struggles and her experience with MS, multiple sclerosis. And so tonight, we will have her tell her story. So go ahead, Debbie.
Yes. So, like I was saying before, I was diagnosed with MS 23 years ago, and um, it has been a struggle. MS is a muscle deterrent disease that you can lose mobility, um, you lose your vision, you lose feelings. So it's a whole bunch of things that could happen when you have MS. So I like I said, I woke up one morning, I had double vision. I went to the eye doctor. They said go to a neurologist. I went to a neurologist. I was diagnosed with MS the day before Thanksgiving. And I've been, I was going to NIH because I wanted to get a second opinion. And everybody was like, yes, you have MS. And then I started treatment. Um, all of the treatments that I have been on have been infusions. So the infusions has been, oh my goodness, they have been so painful. Um,
So
I've been
what
on,
actually is infusions in case those there are people that don't know?
okay, so infusions is you're hooked up to an IV, and it's depending on what type of medication that infusions take. Um, you're usually like an hour to 6 hours, like the one I'm on now
Mhm.
is Aquivus, and it's 6.5 hours.
Wow. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
yes. So I go to the cancer center, but the one good thing about it is only every 2 months.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll get it done, go to the cancer center, and so the infusions is it's a steroid, and then it's another treatment that's all mixed together. Don't ask me what's in it, but
No.
it's working.
Well,
Thank you,
thank God.
Jesus.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank God. Yeah,
So
because I did a little bit of research on it and exactly what you're saying, that it affects the central nervous system and it changes the way the brain interacts with the rest of the body.
yeah,
And it does affect vision. Some people get numbness and tingling in the body. It affects the nerves that runs through the brain into the spinal cord. I guess that's why it affects movements. Um, and I have no clue. So that's why I'm happy that you're here talking about it. So how did you break it to your family? The same day you found out or when?
well, at the time I
Mhm.
wasn't married. It was just my daughter and I, and I unfortunately my family is all over the place.
Mhm.
So I had to tell my mom, who lives in Virginia, Blackstone. So I told her, and she was like, oh, you're going to get through it, whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
And I told my pastor, and, the church was praying for me and everything.
Right.
And, I had a lot of support,
That's
you know,
good. Mhm.
Chris, my girl, my friends. So Chris has always been there from the day that I had it, that it was,
Wow. Yeah.
yes. So I have to thank God for my friends.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. I
yes,
always say to everybody that I speak to in every struggles or every issues or problems that they have, it is so good when you have a support system.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And, with me, um, I usually go to the hospital at least twice a year.
Mhm.
because, when I have lesions on my brain, that's another thing with the MS. So when the lesions act up, right now they're on the lower part of the middle of my back and my brain. So, sometimes when I'm having a really bad flare, I can't walk. So it's like I have to, try to get around, do what I got to do. And most of the time, when you have a flare up, you have to go to the hospital because you have to get a steroid treatment. And the steroid treatment will help you with mobility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So most people who has MS and has it really bad, there's a lot of people. 2 people has died that I've known, my cousin and one of the ladies from my church. And they was in a wheelchair. Some has walkers. So I gotta say, God has been good to me.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because every time I see you, yeah, I could never tell,
Yes.
so that's amazing. One of the things that I also read about was that it causes pain, body spasms, involuntary muscle spasms. Do you have any of those symptoms?
Donna, it is not a symptom that I don't have.
Oh, Lord. So you got them all.
I really try to, I do my best when I can't take it anymore. I have painkillers. I have muscle relaxers. So I try not to take them on a regular basis, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the worst part of the MS for me is the mornings. I can't get out the bed. It'll take me about 2 to 3 hours to get up, and I have to sit there or crawl to the bathroom if I gotta go. It is painful.
Yeah.
And, I gotta do what I gotta do. I have my husband and he's, 100% right there helping me as much as he can when he's home. But the majority of the time I have to do it myself because I'm here.
Yeah. Does it affect your mood as far as, or does it cause you to get depressed at times, or,
That's a good question because that depends on the person. And I guess with me, I'm a happy-go person, happy-go-lucky, and try not to let anything get me down. So yes, it does affect, but I try not to let it, I try to be strong. So it has been challenging, but I lost my daughter June 1st.
Yes, I know.
And the more things that you go through that's depressing and painful, some people can't snap out of it,
I know, that's why I asked, because not everybody can deal with certain things, and for all that you have gone through on top of MS, I'm like, Jesus, you've held it together really well,
Girl, that's all God.
Yeah, and a lot of that also goes to the support system that you have, because I can imagine people that don't have much friends or family, how they get through it. It's I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Exactly. It is hard, and I don't look at, well, it's me. I look at the situation to say, if God has shown me how to live with it, then I want to tell everybody that want to hear it.
Yeah.
MS can be so painful, which it is, and it can be really hard, and it can break up a family, it can break up your marriage, because a lot of people can't deal with it.
Yeah.
But my husband, God bless him, because he has been with me every step of the way. Even before we wasn't even dating.
That's amazing though, because like you said, not many people could handle that. That's
Yes,
amazing. God bless him.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it has been, it's been challenging,
Yeah.
you know, but I know, like you said, I have a wonderful support system, and
God.
my husband is amazing.
Yeah. So day to day, tell me a little bit about like day to day. Is it every day that you're in pain, or is just some days you just have really bad days?
Um, every day it's a little bit of pain,
Mhm.
but when I have um a real bad day, it is very painful.
Mhm.
Um, the numbness in my fingers, and the numbness in my feet, and the back spasms, it's very painful. I would not wish this on anybody.
Mhm.
And I feel like, you know, God only gives you what you can handle.
Absolutely.
So apparently he knew I could handle this, because
Yes.
I'm still here.
He knew you could handle it, and he knows that he that's why he surrounds you with good
A
people.
lot of love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's
So yeah, it is painful. I mean,
Mhm.
I have, like I said, I have my good days, and I try to make the best. That's why people don't understand. When I have my good days, Donna, I am cleaning up this house from top to bottom. I'm like, oh, this is a good day. I'm vacuuming, girl, and I'm gonna say about 3 hours later, girl, I'm about to lay in the bed and feel like I'm dying because I overdid it.
Wow. Yeah.
But
And I'm
yeah,
glad. I've heard also that some people suffer from slurred speech because of how it affects their brain, it affects their speech. But you're
right.
very like articulate, you speak very well, and I see that it hasn't affected you.
Yeah, it hasn't, but
Mhm.
it's crazy because when I think it was one day, Donna, I thought I was having a stroke.
Oh wow.
Yes. And I didn't know what was going on, because my whole left side felt like it was, like paralyzed.
Mhm.
But when I had the MRI, he said that that part of my brain, that
Mhm.
the lesions was on it.
Oh.
So, because it's the craziest question. I asked the neurologist, I'm like, how many lesions do I have on my brain? He showed me the MRI.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's too many. I can't even count them.
Oh wow.
Yes. And he said, I wouldn't worry about the number. I would worry about where they're going, because
Wow.
they start here and they come
And go
down
down. Oh
to
wow.
your spine. So when
Oh,
I have a lot of back pressure, I
mhm.
feel the lesions on my back.
Mhm.
So I know that they're, moving
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So yeah. And there's really nothing you can do about it. The only
Yeah.
thing about the medication is it tries to um it tries to help you to deal with it,
Mhm.
so you won't be in pain like
Right.
24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because there's no cure for it right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So we just deal with it the best way we can. I go to the cancer center, and it's a lot of people, believe it or not, they're usually young, older, people that have MS.
Mhm.
So we sit and we talk, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
So it's always good to tell your story.
Yeah, it is because it helps some. And the thing about it is, oh God, and I keep repeating myself sometimes. Our story, we don't know that when we have a story, it touches someone else, because there are times when you're going through and you're thinking, why me? Or am I the only one going through this? And when you hear somebody else's story, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm
Right.
not the only one. And some people have it worse than others. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, I give God thanks
Yeah.
that He's been keeping you, because I could never tell, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned earlier, um, that, they have a lot of support systems out there,
Mhm.
for, especially for your family,
Yes.
and for yourself. So um I would they will always send you stuff to let you know that, the doctors and stuff is going to be in your area, and you
Yeah.
sign up for a
Mhm.
seminar.
Mhm.
So my husband went with me on one, and then my other two girlfriends went. So, because everybody wants to know, because at
Mhm.
first I was like, is this hereditary?
Mhm.
How did I get it?
Yeah.
But and then they was like, it's just a disease, and they don't really know a lot about it,
Yeah.
because it's like they'll find something and they're like, oh, well, this is what it is, and then it's like, no, that's not what it is, and no, that's
Mhm.
not how you got it. So I don't know. So it's just a guessing game, because everybody's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the NIH and all the ones that's been doing a lot of research on it, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of stuff that they gotta really tap into to really
Yeah,
find
to
out,
find
like,
out. Mhm.
how can we, find a cure for this disease that's, taking people out, and
Yeah.
it's painful. It's a painful thing. When you have a flare up,
Mhm.
Donna, I go to the hospital and I stay for like 7 to 10 days.
Mhm.
So
Okay. 7 to 10
yeah,
days. Wow.
yes. And
Wow.
the hospital is the last place you want to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But
So has a doctor, like when you found out and you're going through all the treatments and stuff, has any doctor ever told you like I would never speak that into anybody's life, like the end result, what does MS do like later on?
well,
You said
they
people
try
have
not to
died
tell
from it.
you, yeah, they try not to tell you anything negative.
Yeah.
Because with a disease like MS,
Mhm.
people run with it. They're like, oh, you're gonna die, you're gonna die,
Yeah.
and that part has never entered my mind,
Okay, that's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah,
because I'm like, God knows when my time
that's right.
is here, and that's
Mhm.
it. I'm not going on with nobody else say.
True.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, because you
I'm
have
living for
people. Yeah, you
I'm
do
living
have
for me and
people.
my husband and my family and my friends.
Mhm. Yeah, sorry, because you do have people that when they get some kind of news as if, okay, the end, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 they end up dying before the disease even kills them.
Right.
From stress. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes. That
So,
is a good point, because I had I have like I said, it was like 2 or 3 women in my church had MS, and 2 of them has died already.
mhm.
So when I first found out, it was one girl that was like, oh, um, you're gonna die.
Oh
And
my God, really?
I was like, okay, you don't have to worry about me, because I don't want to be around you. Okay. I
Exactly.
don't want to be around nobody negative.
Yeah,
I'm going to look at this thing like I'm going to beat it
yeah,
regardless.
absolutely. One
You know
day
what
at a
I'm
time.
saying?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
because the one thing about it is, and that's with anything, you got
Mhm.
to take a positive stand.
Yes, yes.
You got to look
Yes.
at this and say, you know what? I don't know what the world's going to, what's going to happen, but I know
Mhm.
one thing, I'm not giving up.
That's right. That's right. You got to fight. Yep.
Yeah. I said, I'm going
Absolutely
to
right.
fight.
Yep.
And then, with the medication, that's a whole nother story. Um, the medication is so painful. It is so painful.
Um,
So, with the needles, the shots,
geez.
I'm at a point that with the MS, I can't get on a pill
Mhm.
because my MS is too progressive. So I
Mhm.
have to do it in injections.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that too, if you couldn't use other pills or whatever to ease the pain, but you answered. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just got to look at it just like life, one day at a
Yes,
time.
absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, things are happening so much now in this world that you don't even know. Yeah. So when things come, you just gotta fight it and say, you know what, I'm strong, I can deal with it. You just, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. you got to look at that's life period. Just got to look at it like
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely. People have different illnesses, different things going on. Some people don't even know what's going on in their bodies even now. So,
Right, because people are so afraid to know what's
yeah.
going on. And
Mhm.
me, I want to know.
Me
You know what
too,
I'm
because
saying?
you
If
can
I'm
stop
sick,
certain things
I
in the
want to know.
beginning. Yeah. Or
Because
stop
if
stop
there's
the
a cure out
progression.
there, I want it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And I think, and that's one of the things
Mhm.
that one of the doctors has said to me.
Mhm.
He said that I I was able to catch this disease early. A lot of people, like my cousin, she died from it, didn't even know. By the time she went to the hospital,
It was too late.
her brain was covered in lesions. She went
Wow.
in a coma and she died.
Because I'm sure she was having the symptoms before, but she probably was afraid. Yeah.
Well, I think that, and another thing that people don't realize,
Mhm.
stress plays a lot in MS. It will take you to a place that you don't want to go.
I really,
When
yep,
you are
but
stressed and you're
yep,
overwhelmed, people don't understand stress is deadly because it is the killer.
I tell you, stress affects your organs in your body. It affects
Yes,
every single thing in your body. And that's
yes,
what people don't understand. Yep. Yeah.
yes. So when I feel like I'm about to get stressed out, I just have to calm myself down
Mm,
and say, you know what? This is not your portion.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a positive attitude.
Mm,
Plus, when you're going through something that you don't even know what tomorrow looks like, let alone the end of the day,
yeah.
So
I've heard that some people have seizures. You've never had that? You've never had any seizures?
I had one and I didn't know what it was
Mhm.
because, like I said, this is new. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's things that I know. I've had MS for 22 years, going on
Mhm.
23 years, but it's like there's new things that come and
Along the way. Yeah.
you're like, okay, wait a minute, what is this? You
Yeah.
know? So when things happen, I call the neurologist and I ask him, we have a good rapport. So he tells me, well, he always tells me when I'm having an episode,
Mhm.
he says, if it's bad, call 911.
Okay.
He said, don't sit there and suffer
Mhm.
in silence. He said, call 911 and go to the emergency room.
Okay.
So, like I said, I have a wonderful neurologist and he tells me and he talks to me and tells me, if you have a question, don't hesitate, call me, call my
Good.
staff, So
Good.
I'm really glad about that,
You
because a
are
lot of
blessed.
doctors
You
tell you
are,
stuff and
yeah,
then you're like, okay, I'm out here by myself. What do I do?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. You are truly blessed with the support system with God in your life. You're able to, speak to your neurologist, with a lot of people are probably not even able to do. I
Yeah.
give God thanks for that, Debbie, and I thank God for you. So how are you today? I mean, with the struggles and stuff and, losing your daughter. I mean, how are you today?
Well, I had treatment on Tuesday.
Mhm.
Today is Thursday. I had treatment Tuesday, and with I called everybody down. I was like, please pray for me because I'm
Wow.
telling you, I got to get through this because the treatment is so long
And painful.
and it's painful, and all I want to do is sleep and wake up, and my treatment is up. It's
Mhm.
over. But thank God
Mhm.
I had a good treatment. I
So
got a little bit of sleep,
mhm.
and I was, I was doing good. It was a rainy, cold day, but I got
Yeah.
through the treatment.
So let me ask you something. So for the times, there are times when you said you're there for like 3 to 7 days. So when you're there that long at times, is
That's at
every
the
day,
hospital.
yeah, is every
Hmm.
day like treatment, like every single day that you spend there?
Yes, every day is a steroid treatment.
Mhm.
So what usually happens, it depends on how bad the flare up is.
Mhm.
Um, so the worst flare up I've had, I think I was in the hospital for 8 to 10 days. I think probably like 10 days. So every day it was a steroid treatment. So they give you IV with steroids in it. And the thing is, they try to relieve the pressure off of, like most of the time when I have a flare, that means that it's my nerves, my feet. I can't walk, my legs. So it's usually from my waist down. So they make sure that the steroids is working. And so around maybe like the 7th day, I can get out the bed.
Okay. Okay.
And by this time they're doing physical therapy. They want me to walk around, with a walker, with the nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want you mobile. They want you to keep moving. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while I'm there, like they have the alarm on the bed. So if I try to get up, that's gonna go off.
Yeah.
So because they don't want you to fall.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But other than that, nobody want to be in the hospital, period.
No.
But just trying, I think, my focus was, get the treatments and do my best to try to really start walking again,
Yeah. 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 And I just
Yeah.
pray that God continues to keep you, and just still have you live a long life, no matter what. You know what I mean? Because you are dealing with this in such a way that many can't. And that's, to me, I take my hat off to you, because not many are able to, so we give God thanks for that.
Yes.
And I'm happy to see you, to know that you're fighting this thing, and it's a good thing to fight, and never give up, like you said. And hopefully one day I could have you back whenever you feel comfortable enough, because I would really like to talk about the loss of your child, which is not easy. So whenever you feel comfortable with. But I do thank you, Debbie. I thank you so much for coming on and putting this out there so other people know exactly what it is, that if they feel certain kinds of symptoms in their body, not to sit around, but to go to the hospital or the doctor, whatever. So if you have any last words to speak to somebody regarding, MS, feel free to do that now. Any kind of encouragement, or, just to let them know what it is.
I encourage every person that even if you don't even know what's going on with your body, please just go and get anything checked out, because not knowing is the worst. Knowing is better. To always know what's going on, because the littlest thing could be the biggest thing. So, and I know I'm saying riddles, but I'm just telling people to be alert, be aware. I know the answers are scary because you feel like you don't want to know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's always better to know, to get an answer and to know what you're dealing with. And then that way you know what you have to do, and know that if it's given to you, that means you can take care of it, and in a way that is not going to, yes, MS can be so crippling, it can be so painful, but just to know that you can get through it.
Well, you're a living testimony to that fact.
Yes.
You're a living testimony. So, others can do it as well. Yes. So, Debbie, again, thank you so much. Thank you for just putting this information out there. I really do appreciate it. And I thank you. I can't thank you enough. Be blessed. Yes, I love you. Kiss your husband. He's such a, oh my God, he's a blessed man. And it's so good that you have someone like that in your life. It's amazing. Thank God. So have yourself a wonderful night. Thanks
You
again.
too.
And
Thank
thanks to all
you.
the viewers. Thank you for listening. And, if you have a family member that is going through certain things, encourage them to go to the doctor or the hospital, whatever it is, because
Yes.
like she said, knowing is huge. It's good to know, because some things you can catch early on, the early stages, so you know how to treat it and how to go about it.
Yes.
So be blessed, all of you. Have a wonderful night, and I give God thanks for you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a
All
good
righty.
night.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys. Thank you
Love
so
you.
much. Bye-bye.